Of course, food, water, and shelter are important items for your survival pack, but during a crisis, it's just as important to be able to protect yourself. So let's check out the top 12 survival items you need for protection during a crisis. Starting off our list, we have cordage. Sure, every survival pack needs at least a length of rope to hang clothes, tie down shelters, make fishing lines, or climb a steep hill. But for your protection, don't just get any rope, get cordages like parachute cords. Simple as it sounds, these military-grade and uber-tough ropes can be used to do a lot more than just set up tents when camping. Thanks to their thick and dependable texture, these ropes are almost impossible to tear or break, which makes them useful in setting traps or as a string for a bow drill friction fire starting kit. In extreme cases where you need to keep a group of people linked together or attached together, like when stranded in the sea, these ropes are perfect because they'll never break or get worn out. Paracords are tough, durable, multifunctional, and best of all, they're very affordable, so you can get just as many as you need for your survival kit. For an extra tip on these, consider tying them like wristbands around your arm to make sure they don't go missing and can be easily accessed should emergencies arise. The next item you should have in your survival pack is a taser. Periods of crisis are periods of survival, and that means every man for himself. During such times, getting the police or any law enforcement to come to your rescue is hardly an option. So one primary way you can keep yourself and your family from any human attack is by using tasers or stun guns. These items are legal in most states in the US, so all you have to do is check your state and local ordinances to be sure you can own one. Stun guns work best in close contact, while tasers can be used over a longer distance with the use of a projectile. Either works just fine as part of your survival kit. And just so you know, civilian tasers are more advisable because they're designed with longer cycles than normal cop tasers. They last for about 30 seconds, while law enforcement tasers have a 5-second cycle, which means with a civilian taser, you can pull the trigger and have enough time to run for safety. Coming in at number 3 on our list, we have fire starters. Petroleum jelly-soaked cotton balls, dry tinder material, matches, a lighter, a striker. They all count as fire starters and could all come in very handy for protection during a crisis. Being able to start a fire is a core part of surviving outdoors during any form of crisis, whether it's a pandemic or natural disaster. Fire can be used in a crisis to generate warmth, to cook, to purify water, and to make other tools and containers. However, when it comes to protecting yourself and your loved ones in such times, fire is also vital in keeping away most animals that could attack at night. Such animals fear humans just as much as we fear them, and lighting a fire serves as an indicator of human presence, which makes such animals stay far away. Be sure to have at least 2 types of fire starters in your pack, so in case your matchbox gets soaked, you have your lighter to do the job, and if your lighter doesn't work, you can use dry tinder. Just ensure you have a fire starter on hand if you ever have to turn on survival mode. Moving on, another must-have item in your survival pack to protect your family is an emergency whistle. Okay, maybe not just one. You'll need at least one for each member of the family and maybe a couple of spare just in case. These whistles are everything you could ask for in a survival pack because they're very lightweight and don't take up much space. They make a piercing sound so loud it can be heard from up to a mile away, which makes it so much more efficient than trying to scream at the top of one's lungs. After all, during a crisis, you're very unlikely to have enough energy to give a loud enough shout when in danger. That's where the whistles come in. Although the universal whistle signal for SOS is 3 blasts in a row, you might want to come up with a couple of special communication signals for as many people as you'll be with during such a crisis that displaces people from their homes. At number 5, we have a signal mirror. It's a shame how many so-called survival preppers aren't familiar with this item, but it's definitely a must-have. Signal mirrors might actually be the only item that can help you reach out for help without actually making a sound. They're even more efficient during a search and rescue operation where helicopters and choppers are in the air searching for you on the ground. All you have to do is let these mirrors catch the light, and that's all. The upward reflection is so bright it cannot go unnoticed by anyone trying to find you. In fact, many signal mirrors have been discovered to reflect light as far as 15 miles. That's as far as you'll probably ever need to be from potential help. These mirrors are also very effective on a clear and sunny day, so don't hesitate to get one the next time you go shopping for survival items. Halfway through, and the sixth item you need to protect your family during a crisis, we have knives. Generally, for camping or any outdoor activity, you're advised to get Swiss Army knives. However, practically when you need to protect yourself and others during a crisis, you aren't really particular about what type of knife is available. As long as it's a good, sharp knife, it can come in handy for sharpening sticks, cutting cords, cutting bandages, skinning game or fish, cutting branches for a shelter, fashioning a bow drill kit, or harvesting plants. And for protection, a knife is always a good weapon against both human and animal attacks. For specifics, we recommend a full tang, a knife with the high-carbon tempered steel blade extending into the handle as one piece for superior strength, or a robust stainless steel blade that's both razor-sharp and durable that's about 4.5 inches long. And number 7, we have head torches. Sure, having a good old hand flashlight isn't a bad idea, but when trying to survive danger or attack during a crisis, there's nothing better than a proper head torch. For this, you'll be better off buying one piece from a really quality brand than buying multiple cheap options. The more quality brands last for longer hours, and most are capable of emitting 1,000 lumens that can illuminate the path ahead by up to 200 meters. Head torches not only provide illumination in the dark, but also allow for hands-free operation, whether you have to fight off an aggressor or hold other survival items with your hands. Some head torches are also waterproof and made of aircraft-grade aluminium for lightweight and durability, while some even have a strobe function which is useful to disorient an aggressor or signal for help. And don't forget to pack some extra batteries. Moving on, we'll be including cans of pepper spray. They're useful in day-to-day living for self-defense, but are even more important in your survival pack. Pepper sprays come in a variety of sizes and delivery systems such as spray, foam, stream, or mist. It's advisable you get smaller sizes which are easier to conceal and can be stored in your pocket or in your backpack. The delivery system avoids sprays and mists because they have a short range, but every pepper spray still does the job. It won't kill anybody, but will definitely startle and harm an aggressor long enough for you to run to safety. Coming in at number 9 on our list, we have a GPS locator beacon. While this particular item might cost a bit more than others on this list, it could prove very useful in a crisis for yourself and your loved ones. These small handheld devices are satellite synced and will enable you to send a distress signal not just to people you know but also to rescue agencies around the world. It's like an emergency phone, except it works way better when you don't have the luxury of placing a phone call or dialing numbers. Just one click of a button, your location will be shared to those who can rescue you. These beacons are especially efficient during a crisis as they do not require charging thanks to their multi-year battery life, and they have way stronger signals than smartphones or satellite messenger devices. Approaching the end of our list of survival items you need to protect your family during a crisis, we have a Kotan. Here's the thing, we could have mentioned a ton of weapons that check the box of survivalist protection items, but a Kotan is way more logical to hand out to friends and family. This small, handy item is approximately 0.5 inches thick with 6 segments, and it serves as an excellent impact tool if your attacker gets close. Unlike weapons like nunchucks, a Kotan doesn't require much martial arts training. All you need to do is get close enough to your aggressor to hit them. When shopping for these as a survival tool, be on the lookout for variations that include tapered ends, pepper spray, or spikes. The more features, the better. But remember, in the wake of a pandemic or natural disaster that leaves people displaced from their homes, not only animals and humans can cause physical harm, which is why the 11th item on our list is solar blankets. You already know blankets and tarps are no-brainers for shelter during a crisis, but solar blankets, sub-zero sleeping bags, or mylar blankets are a lot more than just for shelter. Solar blankets and sub-zero sleeping bags can help keep your body warm when temperatures drop, especially at night. Mylar blankets have highly reflective plastic sheets which have the ability to retain your body heat and reflect sunlight away from the body. They're just as packable as your regular blankets, so they're easy to move around with, and they'll protect you from any form of harsh weather for as long as is needed. And lastly, at number 12, we have insect repellent. It's hard to explain, but every survivalist almost always forgets to get this as part of their starter pack, which is why we had to include it. As dangerous as animals and human attacks can be, insects can do just as much damage when you're stuck in the woods or displaced from your home, so be sure to pack insect repellent aerosols to drop around wherever you spend the night, as well as balms to apply to your skin to repel bites from dangerous insects. That's all for this video on top 12 survival items you need to protect your family during a crisis. Which of these items will you be getting at your next survival prep shopping? Let us know in the comments section and enjoy our other videos.